Hello, welcome back, and we'll continue to talk about authorization and more specific authorization policies. You as an architect, a security architect, you should recommend to your team or your company to try to decouple authorization policies from applications or specific place that you want to enforce some authorization. Having that in mind, we are going to briefly look at the A framework that it is designed to manage policies and enforce authorization policies in a very effective way. So here on this image, so we are talking about open policy agent, which we call OPA. And there is few frameworks around the policy enforcement, and I think OPA is the most famous one. And it is designed to be flexible, fine-grained, and control for administrators across all the stack. Means that you can use OPA in many areas of your system, not only to API or system application or anything like that. You can use with all the things. So data access, UI, API, containerization, host, Kubernetes, CI/CD, and so on and so forth. It's very flexible, and you can leverage from it in different areas. OPA, it is basically recommended so for services, how your service use OPA to decouple policy from services code, so you can release, analyze, and review policies which security and compliance team love without sacrificing availability and performance. So this is a very interesting project, and you can see here some example of how to use that with Kubernetes to ensure, for example, that all images come from a trusted registry. Here to check egress from using the same host name. We have an example with Envoy, which is a proxy, reverse proxies like Nginx. So we are going to be basically implementing this version that you are seeing here. And here it's example. The example here it is that allow everyone to run get on a path. If you want to enforce this, it would be something like that. OPA uses a language to write the policies, which is called Rego, and it is a bit different from the other programming language that we work with in the day-to-day. Therefore, you need to kind of get used with it, but in general, you're going to use that in a very simple way. So you are just for declare what you want to evaluate, and with the data, you quickly enforce your desired condition. So here on the front end, allow front end service to run get on path as well. So it's that's how you would write this policy. And have an example as well with the application on the application version. So that's how you would look at the method and see here how you check for the path, so on and so forth. So basically, this is OPA, and how you can use that as a sidecar, or you can use as a local software that you can just execute through command line, or you can have as a service, which we are going to be using here in our example. So how it works, you're going to get a request to our service, and before execute a service action, we will call OPA and ask if the given user has the privilege to execute the given action. And so OPA, on the OPA side, we will have our policy in Rego, and you have the data that will be used as part of this evaluation. So we are going to give an example here to see how this works. And I have Rego has here a playground which I have set up with our given scenario, right? So this scenario here would be we are going to simulate if the user has access to a given area in our system. And we start with this saying here, getting the data, and this data would come from this form here, and this would exemplify this part of our policy, which is the data. And what type of information that you put in the data? It is basically your given scenario. For example, here I'm saying that if the user has the role compute admin, this would be able to access compute path on our system or endpoint, and this is the methods that is allowed to access this endpoint with. And the same if our user has only the viewer, who will be able to still access the compute, but you'll be able to see only using the method get. And the main and the storage role, admin would be able to access the storage endpoint as with all the methods. Okay, so I hope this make sense. What is the data? You basically see how you write is the information for your rule to be executed or your policy to be executed, and this side would be a regular policy written in here, which will be basically consuming the data and evaluate against a request or input here. In our case, we simulated that you are getting a method put, and the user is the super user, and the path is compute. And here down here you get the role assigned to the user. So which that's this part it's doing. So it's getting the user and retrieving the user roles, and then we'll evaluate the user role against the path, and if it goes well, you would return as true. And let's just do a quick test here. No result are happening. Compute. Okay, now it's working. I don't know why it's not working before. But yeah, the playground has some issues. But yeah, it will manage to exemplify here. Then you have allowed. And if we say that our super user has storage admin as well, but let's say Bob, if you pass Bob, it returns false. And if you pass a user that doesn't exist, no. But let's just see if we can. Bob has permission to compute a view, so you should be able to be accessing the computer with the method get, and here return true. So this you can see how we can be very flexible with our policies. So we'll be having all the policies for our system or for our company in a single place, in a centralized area, transparent to everyone, and in a very easy way be able to inspect it, audit, and everything else. Okay, so next example, which will be actually implement on our system, would be the service access policy. So we are gonna basically have a very simple rule here that is to check the origin, or in this case, our service will be the origin. So will be service A, and we will try to access service C, and we will see if this will pass. And how we'll check that, it is basically we have here service A is able to access only service A and B and localhost. We don't have service C here allowed for the service A to access. So this should return false, as it is showing here. Service A, where is that? And come on, what's happening? If you service origin service A to service B, And this evaluate selection. Evaluate selection. Evaluate everything. That's the problem. So it's evaluate only where we are here. Yeah, so service B, we have permission to access. Service C, we don't have permission to access, so it would return false. And we will then trying to implement this logic on our system. So see you in the next lecture for looking at how to implement this in our system. See you.